Hi, it's Marianne Kinsell here from the RWTA. This morning, we're going to be talking to Noah Heldt from Linfox. Noah was the 2024 Frank Vale Award winner. Welcome, Noah. How are you today?
Good, thanks, Marianne. Nice to spend some time with you this morning.
And you too. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us because the Frank Vale Award is such an integral part and has been for the last 30 years of the RWTA. I wanted to talk to you about the possibility of others, putting their names up, and obviously your manager needs to alert the RWTA to their emerging leaders. Tell me about the process that you went through, and that how did you feel about that all that process of going through the Frank Vale Award?
Yeah, I think at first I was a little bit surprised that my manager had put me up for it, and yeah, I had to ask him, oh, what's it about? What does it entail? And we went through the application process, which starts off simply by filling in a form, and then you work through an interview question, you prepare some speeches, a lot of research before learning about the RWTA. I hadn't really understood how the cold chain industry began in Australia, and it actually was Frank Vale that pioneered it. So that kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration behind how prestigious this award is. It's named after the person that created cold storage in Australia. Um, that I think is just super powerful. And learning about that really opened my eyes to how pioneering Frank Vale was. And then you go through the process. You meet two or three different people that'll interview you. And it's not an interview, it's a conversation, it's a discussion about yourself, about what you want to do, about your knowledge of the industry. I really enjoyed it. Speaking to people that have been in the industry for a lot longer than you and have a lot of wisdom, have seen a lot of different things. It's always, yeah, really, really cool.
Mm. And there's the process. It goes on for months, doesn't it? We put you through quite the ringer. So you get interviewed online, and then when you get to the conference, you have a face-to-face meeting, and then we put you up on the stage. Now, this is always the I find most people find the hardest bit, which is it's as we all know, you can get up and talk about something that you know, but when you've got the industry that you work in, so everybody knows what you're talking about. So I know that the Frank Vale competitors, they get up there from all these different states, and then they go, oh wow, this is quite it's a little bit in your face, isn't it? But you were very calm. How did you find getting up on stage particularly? How did that affect, what sort of prep did you put into that, and how did you find it?
Yeah, I'd done a lot of reading off my own what I wanted to say, tried to summarize it to more dot points and make it more about talking to the audience rather than reading off a piece of paper. I did quite enjoy it. I'm really passionate about the industry, emerging talent, and where we're going to head. And I really thought that rather than just reading off a piece of paper, kind of tell a story, um, try and engage with people, which I felt worked really well. People were coming up to me afterwards, people I never met, people I'd just seen around the conference saying, well done, like everything resonated with us. And for me, that was really important to me, knowing that I had done a good job in getting that message across.
Yeah, and you really did. And it's not as if, the people that you're competing with, within, in industries, but different companies, they're very good too. So, you get up and you watch these people speak and you go, oh, they're good. And then you watch the next person and you go, oh wow, they're impressive as well. And, I think for the industry itself to watch the youth moving through and you as emerging leaders, we know that we're in good hands. We know that the future of the cold chain is in a great place. And then we go, the conference goes for 3 days, so it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And on the Tuesday night, we have the gala dinner. So we make you kind of wait, don't we, until it's announced. And so you all line up. What was the feeling that you had that night when it was announced that you were the winner?
I was extremely nervous to start off with. It's always nerve-wracking, but it was a little bit of relief because I'd worked really hard for it. And yeah, when my name was announced, I was again a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised. But yeah, I felt super grateful and unbelievably privileged to have been the 2024 winner. There's lots of names that come before me that are still really important members of the cold chain industry in Australia, and to be on that list now is, yeah, such a privilege.
Indeed, it is. And one of the things that we do at the RWTA is we send you across to the US, to the Global Cold Chain Alliance. And this year was hit by a hurricane, which was a little bit unfortunate. But what did you gain from going to the US and being at the Global Cold Chain Alliance's conference?
I think one of the biggest things was realizing the differences between specifically America and Australia in terms of how we manage the cold chain and just the different attitudes around it. And obviously, at the global cold chain, you're dealing with quite senior people from the big players, Americold, Lineage, New Cold, all the big players in the cold chain. So discussing some of the topics that are topical for us in Australia, and understanding how that impacts in America, and then again learning completely different things about what's topical in America that isn't in Australia. It just gives you that really rounded global perspective. And there's definitely things I've learned, or at least things I've understood, and tried to apply in Australia. And then again, everything you learn and all those experiences you can pass on to your own team. And for me, that's really important. Passing on that knowledge definitely empowers the next generation, or at least the next round of leaders to come through and continue forwarding this industry.
Look, you are an emerging leader. You are already a leader, and we thank you for being part of that because we know it's a process. We take you out of your work time. It adds to your workload. But just to finish up with that whole process, and it goes on for months. Do you feel that you're a little different, or what did you gain personally from the experience of the Frank Vale Award and then winning it?
I think stepping out of your comfort zone is extremely important, however you do it. But public speaking is a great way of making yourself uncomfortable. So that really made me believe in myself a bit more. It's definitely something that most people don't get the chance to do. But having to step up and actually you're the center of attention. You're it for about 5 minutes. It was very validating for me. So definitely, yeah, I would say stepping out of your comfort zone, making yourself a little bit uncomfortable, especially those networking moments where you're talking to some people that you've never met before, people from different companies. The RWTA brings a very large variety of people together. You've got other 3PLs, other warehouse and transport providers, but you've got people that are selling you rapid roller doors or freezer jackets, and just talking to them and trying to forge some connections, find some common ground. That can put you out of your comfort zone, but once you get comfortable doing it, it's an experience and a skill that you'll be able to apply to anything else. So yeah, I would say stepping out of your comfort zone and making yourself better for it.
Noah Heldt, Linfox 2024 Frank Vale Award winner. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. We're all looking forward to watching you in the many years to come succeeding. Thank you for taking some time to speak to me today.
Thanks so much, Ryan. It's a pleasure.